My name is James Skay, and I'm coming to you live from Kirkland, Washington. I'm part of the Microsoft Teams engineering group, and I'm currently working with some initiatives related to monetizing Teams applications. And earlier this year, we had some announcements that were made at Build and Inspire, kind of culminating, if you will, the ability for third-party developers and ISVs alike to monetize Teams apps. And so we're really proud and excited to share this great opportunity today. Everything that I'm about to share with you has already been GA'd and announced late last year. And so I wanted just to kind of give a sample for this group around what capabilities and options are available. So to kind of take a step back, and I know some people are like, monetize Teams apps makes sense, but how does it come together? Well, if we think about, there's two components that we're bringing together, and they're the Teams App Store that I think we're mostly all familiar with today. Then there's also the Microsoft AppSource, where the web app or the transactable SaaS offer is created. Now, many of you are saying, well, yes, we've had this before. What's new? Well, we've now taken the ability to create a transactable web app in AppSource and link it directly together with the Microsoft Teams app and to bring it together into the Microsoft Teams App Store. So for many of you, this might look new because prior there was just like an add button in the Teams store when you did a search for a particular app. And so what we've done is we brought a buy a subscription button straight into the Teams App Store that will actually allow you to transact straight within the Teams App Store, as well as the Microsoft Teams Admin Center. And so with that, let me go ahead and jump straight into a demo. As you can see here, I am in my Microsoft Teams client. I just happen to be on the web client, but this works identically as well on your desktop. If I go into my App Store, I can actually choose to look for a particular application. In this case, I'm looking for an app called ContractZen. And you can see here, I can add to team or I can buy a subscription. Now, if there was no transactability available on this app, this buy a subscription button would not appear. But because there is, I can click buy a subscription right now. Now, what you'll notice is two things here. I can choose either a monthly, a per user per month basis, or a per user per year, but also there's a 30-day free trial that's available. And so that's actually pretty cool that our ISVs are enabling our users the ability to test out before an actual charge begins. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and choose the $9.50 per user per month, and I'm going to choose to buy 10 licenses. Now, I can choose to buy a license for myself, but I can also choose to buy licenses for my company or even just for my team. And in this case, you can see here that I've already entered my sold to information. There's my name, my company name, and I've also added a Visa card here. And so what I can see here is that it's going to be a $95 order that's going to take place. Currently, the total is $0 because I have that 30-day free trial. So at this point, I'm going to hit place order. And in the background, we're actually transacting business through AppSource as well as through Microsoft's backend systems. And what's going to happen soon is, in just a moment, I'm going to be prompted to set up my subscription and to provision it directly with my ISV. And so at this point, it's preparing that setup link right now. And in just a moment, I'm going to click and I'm going to land on the landing page for ContractZen, where I'm able to set up my application. Now, in this case, I bought 10 licenses. And so in just a moment, I'm going to be able to assign those licenses to those users within my Teams tenant. I need to just give some permissions here based on the actions that are required through the ISV. This is no different than what's typically required today for permissions from tenants. And in this case, I can actually choose to give a name for my organization as well as to select a country. So in this case, we're located in the US. I'm going to save this information and then jump straight into ContractZen. And in just a moment, I'll be able to, as I mentioned, assign those licenses. Now, while that's going on in the background, I also want to show you another capability of how this can be done. You'll notice here, this is the Microsoft Teams Admin Center. And the same thing can be done from here. I can click on Teams Apps and then go to Manage Apps. Here, you're going to see all of the apps that are available for Microsoft Teams. a shortcut to see what's available for transactions, I can click on the license tab and sort that based on purchasability. Now, what you'll notice is there's a lot of other ones that are available here too. In the event that I wanted to purchase one, like Breakthrough as an example, I could choose to purchase this here under the plans and pricing. You'll also notice that this has a 30-day free trial here. And so in this case, I could choose to do $3.75 per user because I have, let's say, 50 users. I can click on purchase. And at this point, the same thing that's going to happen, but there's going to be one distinction that is different. In this case, I can actually choose not to charge it to a credit card, but rather I can actually choose to create or do invoice billing based on a purchase order. And so all that information is coming straight from here with regards to a billing profile. And so what's great about this is for IT pros and IT admins that wish to actually buy larger subscriptions for their organizations, they're able to do so straight from the Microsoft Teams Admin Center with no credit card required. Now, with just a few moments left, I want to just talk about how does this take place and what is an ideal candidate for this. These are just some high-level points, but sometimes these can actually help spark ideation. Partners that have an application already today that provides some level of stickiness or value, something that makes my usage of Teams that much more simpler or easier or efficient. You support a per user per month or a per user per year model. We currently don't accept consumption-based or flat rate. You can also differentiate between a free and an in-paid app experience, as well as you can build and implement a license management component, which was that second part of contracts that I didn't show you. Now, how do you make this happen? Actually, before I do that, let me jump into why. I think most of you who are in this space may have heard back last year, we lowered our transaction fee from 20% to 3%. And for many cases, that's cheaper than processing the credit cards on your own. Microsoft will only keep 3% of that revenue and give 97% back to the partner. And then last but not least, from a why perspective, we've just announced financial incentives, $10,000 for building a high quality app within the time and constraint of this program, which is October 1 through June 30. And then if you can hit another 5,000 commercial MAU within that same time period, you get an extra 10,000. So an opportunity for you to earn up to $20,000. From a high level perspective, there's 5 steps. Create your free Teams app, you integrate with your SaaS fulfillment APIs, you create that transactable offer in Partner Center, you link that transactable offer in Partner Center, and then in the Microsoft Teams Dev Center, you submit for validation, and then you're good, you're gone, you're live. Now, with that said, how do you get started? URL today, aka.ms/teamsmonetization/get started.
Excellent, thank you, James.